Hi, everyone. I'm joined by Jason O'Grady, the General Manager of Compliance Council. How are you going, Jason? And would you mind telling me a bit about Compliance Council?
Hey, Ange, I'm very, very good. Compliance Council is a ISO consulting organisation that's been around for 6.5 years now. We help our clients develop HSEQ management systems aligning to the ISO requirements throughout construction, civil, manufacturing, really any stream or vertical that requires an ISO certification. That's where you'll find us helping out.
Awesome. And in during those time, like what's happening right now at the moment, do you have a lot of clients reaching out? Like, what are they seeing out in the front line of construction? What are they talking to you guys about?
Yeah, we've had a lot of clients reaching out to us, particularly with COVID-19. Since early March, really, we've seen a lot of clients, a lot of our clients ask them for their procedures and policies in regarding their management of COVID-19, to which we've helped them build some policy and procedure, put that in place in order to suffice like the requirements that have been put on them. But overall, like businesses just need to start minimizing their risks to their stakeholders when it comes to COVID-19. That's the biggest thing that we've seen is the end user or the client. They want to ensure that the contracting organization that they've brought on board are doing their due diligence and ensuring that they're trying to minimize the spread of COVID-19, particularly with their stakeholders. So particularly with universities and the like, where there's a high amount of people up until previous lockdowns. They want to obviously try and control that environment as much as possible.
Yeah, so it's not just like the subcontractors, it's the general contractors, it's the contractors. Each of them have responsibilities pertaining to this to ensure the safety of everyone as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's the whole chain. The whole chain is involved. And if you're a principal contractor on site as a builder, you need to ensure that things such as the social distancing measures are taking place. You need to ensure that you're providing adequate sanitizing. You need to ensure that you're providing adequate cleaning for the site as well. You need to ensure that all your subcontractors, all your workforce, all your visitors, all your own employees, etc., are protected as much as possible against the spread of the virus. And if you're a subcontractor, you need to ensure that the principal contractor is abiding to these requirements. So you need to have representatives from your organisation coordinating with the site supervisors, project managers, etc., to make sure that all of your staff are covered by the principal contractor's requirements for social distancing, sanitising, etc., etc.
All right. And then also like that's like all of those, like it's so paramount for everyone to get on board. I think we're very fortunate at the moment that the government is letting us self-regulate to manage all of these things. How can compliance council help those out there in terms of like policies? And there's a lot to think about at the moment, and like implementing them is one thing, but also having that documentation and support is important as well to really create these processes. How can compliance council work with the contractors out there to in support of that?
Yeah, so we've got a pandemic response kit that's freely available to the market, and anyone can download that. That has a response plan. It has a working from home checklist for those that can deploy their workforce from working from home. It has a what to do when you suspect someone within your organisation has COVID-19. But paramount to all of that is each organisation needs to treat this as though it is a very high risk, but just as they would any other safety risk. You need to identify what your control measures are going to be. You need to review how you're actually enforcing those control measures and are they effective. When it comes to things like, and you mentioned the government letting us self-regulate, just as any safety incident or hazard, the regulator is going to look favourably against the businesses that are doing their due diligence and taking the reasonably practical steps to stop the spread and minimise harm to their staff.
And I think it's important for all of us to remember that it just takes one case, right? It just takes one case of COVID-19 on a construction site for it to affect the whole of the industry. So we really
Yep.
need to work together to ensure that we're self-regulating, we're educating, we're putting policies in place, just like it would be any sort of other risk or incident policies or documentation that we have. So thank you so much
Yep.
for joining us today and for sharing what you're seeing with your customers out on the front line regarding this pandemic.
No problem at all.